time, sir. Let's get started.
Let's do it.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Week 4 edition of the Recap Show, late night edition. Thank you for staying up late with us to recap some high school football around the state of Louisiana. Games just got done getting wrapped up, folks. I mean, weather came out of nowhere and made huge impacts around south part of Louisiana, here in the central part. I mean, we were at a game tonight and weather wasn't the best, but I heard there was a lot of games in the state of Louisiana that were delayed here tonight. A lot of them lightning delays, bad weather. I mean, we were on the way home from a game and they had another game in the state at halftime. So imagine the field conditions that played factors tonight. Poor, wet conditions, wet balls, the Lightning getting the team out of flux. It was just a weird night altogether in Week 4, but you had some major scores. You had teams putting up 50, 60 points. You had upsets. You had a little bit of everything you wanted in a high school football week, and we're just glad to be here and bring you some great late night coverage.
Right.
Got Mr. Gary Swallow, Mr. Jake McCoy sitting down with me tonight. Let's talk a little high school football, guys. Hey, you were at the Kinder St. Louis game tonight. You were calling the game with me at Rain and Kaplan. Give me your thoughts on both games.
Well, you know, Jordan, I watched a little bit of the game y'all were covering. It looked like an all-out dogfight between Kaplan and Rain, two great football teams. I kind of expected that kind of outcome to the very end, last possession, a real close game. As far as Kinder St. Louis, I'm going to tell y'all, Kinder's good, but St. Louis is great. Their defense really flexed their muscle tonight, gave Kinder fits all night. You know, like y'all were saying, they started late, lightning delayed, didn't start till 7:40. But kids didn't care. They got a rhythm, got a groove, a lot of hard hitting. I'm gonna tell y'all, St. Louis is still the team to watch in District 4-3A. Of course, they still got a lot left to go. They still got to play Iowa, got to play Jennings, LCCP. But tonight was really a statement win, I truly believe, for St. Louis.
Gareth, you saw that game tonight with Rain and Kaplan. Your initial thoughts?
I think Rain flexed their muscles with their speed first, and Kaplan just had some opportunities, but didn't take advantage of them. And they you know, at first I thought it was going to be speed versus power.
Yes.
And that's pretty much what it was at the first part. And that's why it ended up as close as it did. And I'm going to tell you right now, in my opinion, that game there could have easily went the other way, but you know, Rain basically took advantage of the opportunities. That's my opinion. But I think it was a great ball game. I love going over there. They treat us so well. The fans treat us well. They know who we are, and they let us know how much they appreciate it. So, like I said, I think it was a great game. Very positive for both of them. You know, both teams. So I can't say nothing but great job.
Hey, you had some overtime games throughout the state of Louisiana tonight. You had games come down to the wire. We were listening to the St. Thomas More Catholic of Baton Rouge game on the way home, and that one came down to a game-sealing interception. We were watching the LCA and Ruston game on the way home, and that came down to 4th and goal, a final pass to the end zone, offensive pass interference
That
was the decider.
That was
Ruston
rough.
at home. Oof, what a game. And it's big time games all across the board here that we got to see tonight. But stand up, my friend. Stand up, my friend. Because the Barry Red Devils homecoming, baby.
I said we got it. Give me one, Nate.
Homecoming win tonight for the Red Devils. Your alma mater, my alma mater. We get a homecoming win. What a night for the Red Devils.
It wasn't just a win, it was a domination. I have never, when you told me the score, Jordy, my mouth, I know, hit the ground. It was unbelievable. Congratulations. We're going to give you the final score on that a little bit later. But, man, congratulations to the Port Barry High Red Devils for a great win.
And, you know, I'm not a Port Barry alum, but I'm going to tell you, I know how much this win means to the Port Barry community. You know, homecoming, you always want to win your homecoming game, and it's such a dominating performance. Hats off to Coach Angel and the Port Barry Red Devils, man. Hey, great night to celebrate. Great night to be a Port Barry Red Devil, even if you're not one, but.
Hey, we got games of the night to share, folks. We got upsets of the night. UTL statement wins of the night. You're going to want to stick and see who won those tonight. And also, we got some helmet stickers to give out. I want to say thank you to Delcom High School for having us on Thursday night. And also want to say thank you to Kaplan High School for having us on Friday night. So it's a great honor to go cover games at those two stadiums this past weekend. And then next week, week 5, we're already at the halfway point of the regular season.
Man.
It's flying along, folks. Stick with us. Hey, Mr. Gary will not be on the call next week. He got to go see some race cars.
I'm
down
going to be
there
out
in
of town.
Talladega.
Yeah.
That's
So we're going to see. But I'm going to be out of town, but I'm going to be watching.
Yes, indeed. Week 5 already shaping up to be a dandy. I got some matchups here that I want to share at the end of the show and just say, get ready.
Yeah.
Get ready. It's going to be one of our biggest shows of the season next week. I got all kind of guests coming on board. You might have to put 2 or 3 tables here. Wednesday night's going to be rocking.
Yeah.
It should just get ready.
I'll be here Wednesday, but I mean, yeah. So we're going to have a lot of fun, and you know, once we get everything going, and once we figure out how we're going to put everything and how everybody going to sit down, it's going to be awesome.
Get ready, folks. Hey, if you have a team tonight that won and you want to celebrate them in the chat, go ahead and give that reaction in a comment below. Let us know where you was at tonight. Let us know if your team won. We'll shout them out on the air for you right here before we get moving to some of these games. I mean, let's cover Thursday night real quick while they give their shout outs to those home teams that won tonight throughout the state of Louisiana. Thursday night football, Oberlin, Maryville. We thought Oberlin wouldn't have no problems here, and we were right. They went on the road. Maryville not on the same playing field as Oberlin. A 41-12 victory. Oberlin 3-1 on the season. That's a good look. That's a good look for that Tiger program.
And you know, with you know, low numbers they have this year, Jordan, it's remarkable. I mean, you know, they started the season with 22 players. I think now they're up to 25, and they're just handling business as usual.
Hey, district play is here, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and you know the quality. You know, if you have low numbers, you just have to have quality players, and that's what it is. If you put your players in position that they're comfortable and that they can perform in, you're gonna be okay.
Hey, Opelousas Catholic, you playing a tough schedule. 3 out of your 4 games in the first 4 weeks.
They were tough.
Yeah, bruh. You got Oak Grove, Ascension Catholic, Southern Lab, 3 of your 4. Yeah, it's getting you ready for district play. And I'll tell you what, Opelousas Catholic going hang 35. Usually you don't lose games in that way. But Southern Lab hanging a 60 spot. How good is this Southern Lab football team? Keeping a close eye on them moving forward.
You're gonna watch them. They're always contenders. I mean, they've been strong for the last few years, and I don't see any change in it. They're going to be tough.
Hey, good time rivalry up north between Bird and Captain Shreve. I know you know a lot about this rivalry here. They just don't like each other, ladies and gentlemen. And bragging rights were on the line. And you look at this contest, it lived up to the hype. Throw the records out the door. Don't let them hit you on the way out. Captain Shreve gets the win this year, 35-28. You know they're happy over there at Captain Shreve right now.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you, when them two play, the entire city of Shreveport comes out. And I told people if I wouldn't have had work last night and DeQuincy wasn't playing last night, I'd have probably made that quick trip to Shreveport just for that game.
Yeah.
I mean that's one of the biggest games of the year in Northwest Louisiana.
And they're so close to each other in proximity. You mean I have a friend that I go visit in Shreveport, and you literally turn on Captain Shreve Drive to go to River Road to go to my friend's house. But whenever you're leaving, you pass right in front of Bird High School. So it's like they're this
right there,
this far from each other.
Yes.
I mean, it's unbelievable. So
and the student body really gets involved with it. I don't know if y'all seen pictures throughout the week. This is an every year thing.
Yeah.
They hang banners off the side of overpasses saying hashtag we run this city, this and this and that. I mean, they get into it. The fan base is it. That's what makes a good rivalry.
yeah, most definitely.
Next up, you had Dunham and Ascension Catholic. We thought this game was going to live up to the hype, and it did. I don't have a storyline for you of how exactly it played out, but a 29-28, it must have been a thriller to be at. Dunham, that's a 3-1 Dunham team moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. State runner-ups a year ago.
That's
True
right.
freshman quarterback. We'll see moving forward, but a big-time win for Dunham on the road.
That surprised me that they, being that they're as young as they are, but they went in and that was a big win over Ascension.
Absolutely. You know what another big win is? This Lowerville Tiger football team is now 3-1. Uh-oh.
Look
Here
out.
we go. Braden is in the chat.
How you doing, Mr.
Hey, Braden, what's happening, man?
Let's see. Ascension Catholic threw an interception in the end zone with 20 seconds left at the Dunham 5-yard line. If anybody had the storyline, it would be him.
That's my man.
Hey, what a game.
Wow.
Lowerville, North Vermilion, that's a good 3-1 Lowerville team.
Right.
Just finding ways to win on the road, week in and week out. North Vermilion 10, Lowerville 17. I wouldn't want to play this Lowerville team right now.
Lowerville just seems to reload every year. They've never made
That's a
win.
big yawn, sir.
Yeah, that was a big yawn. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They've never gotten, I think, to the dome. I don't think they've won the state championship yet.
Been the same as handful of occasions,
but they've never won it all. But
No.
let me tell you something. They're a scary team to play year in and year out. Whether their program is solid.
They're well coached
Mhm.
from top to bottom, so you know they're going to be in contention every year.
And
Most definitely.
I watched them 2 weeks ago when they played DeQuincy. Despite DeQuincy holding them only 13 points, which still is beyond me. But
You have
Lowerville,
nightmares because you had a 0 in your column, right?
come on, man. But no, I mean, Lowerville's they are stacked with athletes. They're very well coached, very disciplined. And I'm going to tell you, we don't know what's going to happen with the playoff format. That's another conversation at the time. But if this is a pure 2A bracket, Lowerville's going to make a deep run, in my opinion.
There you go.
Right. Oh, I agree with you. I got to agree with you.
And then one more on Thursday night. We got to cover this game. Lake Arthur and Delcom. Lake Arthur, they got a running back, number 1. They got a quarterback, number 3. 2 good athletes that are good. Them guys can run. The quarterback's physical. The tailback is fast. They were the difference makers in that contest for sure on that offensive side of the ball. He had 2 touchdowns got called back because of penalties, so he could have had a 5-touchdown night just like that. But Delcom, young football team, a freshman quarterback, you got a freshman center, you got freshmen all across the board. Look out for Delcom
Yeah,
in 2
they're
years
tough.
from now, Gary.
Oh.
In 2 years, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And hey, they played their tails off Thursday night, but a late touchdown made this score look a little worse than what it was. They scored with 8 seconds left to go in the game. 27-12 was your final. But I enjoyed myself covering that one on Thursday.
Well, first thing I want to tell you is Lake Arthur and Delcom, welcome to our helmet tree. You're right here. You know, we appreciate the support. All you other schools that have not gotten your helmets up here, we're waiting. But I want to say thank you to Lake Arthur and Delcom for doing that. But man, like you said, Jordy, your youth and you got a little bit of experience there, and that experience came out and helped Lake Arthur get that victory.
And I'm gonna tell you, Gary and Jordan, I'm gonna tell you, Coach Davis, and the boys, they took one on the chin last week against Jeanerette, and felt like that wasn't their best game, and they really got after in at practice this week, and they come out firing. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm proud of Coach Davis for going down there and getting that victory. They needed that, and I'm gonna tell you, Lake Arthur will be a force to be reckoned with in the district.
Hey, let's look at some of our comments before we jump into Friday night action, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Kirk Taylor. Hey, Barry is reeling right now, boys.
I'm excited, guys.
He said, how about them Red Devils, Colton Simmons? 4 sacks on the night. Not a bad day for being a defensive line coach. Congratulations, Coach. Jack Jackson says, Abbeville 36, Beauchamp 7. Wildcats. Excited.
Yeah.
Lori Como says, great job, Hounds. Big time win for Welsh tonight. Yeah. Coach over there at Union Parish, starting out district play with a 1-0 record, 41-14, big one for the Farmers.
Yeah, most definitely.
Kurt said 40-8 Red Devils. Poo-poo on the panel for dodging us. LOL, just kidding. Hey, we picked them. Hey, two of us win that way.
Can't say nothing about all of us because the true Red Devils, we stuck with y'all guys, so we good.
Happy homecoming.
That's right.
Happy homecoming week.
Go ahead.
Pablo says Northside 28, Berwick 14. To Nathan Bonnet, ring a bell?
Yeah.
Last year's player of the game, 4 touchdowns, 200+ yards, and a bundle of tackets. Right. That's a special football player for that Viking team.
Yeah. We waiting on the helmet.
Gary, you assessed with helmets. Leave it alone.
I know it. No, man. Not going to happen.
Leave it alone.
I think it's safe to say we want to try to get every team in the state on
Lafayette Parish and St. Andrew Parish is a must.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Blaze says Acadiana Road. Yes. Charleston said, what happened with OHS? I heard it was a good game.
Yeah,
I heard it came down to a blocked punt.
Right.
And I heard Santa Mont stays undefeated on the year. Devin Staub, yes indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Great Thursday night battle in Donaldsonville. Okay. Kobe says, have y'all covered Sam Houston game yet? That would be a no. Sam Houston has their own broadcast team. I forgot what the name of it is.
Big Sam Boosters or something like that.
Big Sam something.
Yeah,
but
Radio Network.
I was actually watching their live earlier today. I share it every week, so
yeah,
they're already covered. And then Devin Side says that boy Gary needs some coffee.
I do.
I think we all do.
Well, at this time we need it, man.
Y'all need coffee.
We some night
I did this show at 2 a.m. last week.
You need Dr. Pepper. That's what you need.
Guys, we some night owls around here.
Hey, let's go Friday Night Football, ladies and gentlemen. We start with the game we had tonight, Rain versus Kaplan. It was 2-1 versus 3-0. Oh my God. There's Ray. Well, Ray gave me a paragraph.
Oh, yeah, he gave you a bunch, man.
Ray says, no big news up north. Ruston over LCA was the biggest game of the state. Calvary beats Wassman, but Wassman shows they're for real, okay? West Monroe stays undefeated in spite of all the drama. Cedar Creek got in the win column thanks to more outstanding defensive play. St. Frederick's, Washita Christian, Neville, Franklin Parish, Sterlington Union, and Gina all playing at high level and should be primed for playoff runs. Ringo, most improved team in Louisiana. People need to give the Skins a little shine. Lawson Lillo for Cedar Creek leads the state in tackles with 70. He had 55 and got 15 tonight. Also 102 yards at 12.75 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns. Keep your eyes on Lawson Lillo. He's special. Gonna get some sleep, guys. Talk next week, hopefully. Shout out to Mr. Ray giving us some big time.
Thank you, man. We appreciate
stuff
you.
right there. Jesse says LCA versus Ruston game was awesome. LCA going to be hard to beat. 5 turnovers and still almost beat a tough Ruston football team.
Right. Can't give it away. Can't give it away. No matter how good you are, turnovers will cost you a game.
Yep.
Miss Lori says St. Louis showed up. Yes, they did. And Mr. Jarrett says, hello, guys. Hello, Mr. Jarrett. Friday Night Football, let's go.
Let's get it, man. Let's do it.
Rain Kaplan. This one was early. It was a 17-point lead for Rain, but it could have been a lot closer. Kaplan had a drop touchdown in that first quarter
Right.
that I thought it could have been 6-6 or 8-6 going into that matchup. But Kaplan looked like they controlled the line of scrimmage from the offensive side. Rain looked like they controlled the outside edges.
Yeah.
And speed kills,
Speed,
Gary.
that's what I was saying. We talked about that. I said the speed of Rain dominated the power of Kaplan for the first part of the game.
Well, when you're playing catch up
Right.
and you're a power offense that gets 3 yards a pop, you're trailing by 17, and they just had to play chip away. I mean,
Correct.
second half, Rain's offense pretty much was non-existent
Correct.
because they had a big-time fumble, and then Kaplan stayed on the field for
Right.
a good portion, maybe like 18 to 20 minutes of total
Right.
offense in that second half. So, I mean, it was chip away time. It came down to an onside kick. They got the ball back, had to go 98 yards, but it was Rain's defense at the end.
Right.
A game-sealing interception, a road win, 25-22. Congratulations to the Wolf, and congratulations to our player of the game. 4
Awesome.
touchdowns tonight for number 20. That's a special football player. He's elusive, he's fast, and he's the best tailback I've seen this
One
season.
of those touchdowns was a 90-yard run.
95.
A
I believe.
95-yard or 90-plus yard run. And he got hit by at least 5 or 6 players and would not go down and just took it to the house. Awesome young man.
Absolutely. Best tailback I've seen this year.
I agree with that.
Congratulations, Kaplan and Rain. Good football game. Thanks for the opportunity to cover it.
Right. Enjoyed it. And
Hey.
we got wet.
Yes, it was a rainy night.
I
at
didn't,
Kaplan.
but I feel their pain. I mean, we got sprinkled on Kinder, but
Oh, it poured.
Boy, it came down hard.
yeah.
East Beauregard, no problems tonight against winless Gaydon, 45-0. That one ended early. They
Right.
must have had a running clock in the second half.
Yeah,
East
8-4.
Beauregard starting to make some noise in that district race where they're trying to tell Basile that it ain't your district title until you beat us in week 10.
Right.
But we'll see. East Bow got a good one next week. You have that matchup of who they play next week? Because I know it's a really good football game.
Yeah, I mean that district is it's.
I think they have a non-district game next week.
Grand Lake at
Yes,
Grand Lake.
Grand Lake East
Yeah,
Bow
and
next
that's-
week. That's gonna be a
that's gonna be a
damn.
good game.
Fight.
That's gonna be a good one.
And it's hard to beat Grand Lake at Grand Lake.
Hey, like we said, Port Barry 40-8 over Mamu tonight. The Green Demons fall to 0-4, and the Red Devils move to 2-2 on the season.
Man.
We ain't had 2 wins in 10 years. I mean, I'm over exaggerating, but it just feels damn good tonight.
Well,
Yeah.
You figure last year they won the last game of the year.
Correct.
This year they won the first game of the year, had a tight one that they lost to Beauchamp. OC we're not going to talk about.
Yeah,
And then you have this game where they come out there and they just exploded. This was the best performance that I've heard, and I'm reading the chats and all the messages I see on Facebook. All I can say is I am so proud to be a Red Devil right now
Yes, indeed.
for what they've done.
And here's the thing. Port Barry's banged up.
Where's your red shirt?
I mean, I'm repping McNeese, but I mean, But here's the thing about Port Barry. You know, even though they're banged up, these younger kids have opportunity to get a lot more, you know, varsity experience, and it prepares them in the long run for district play in the playoffs in the next year.
Right.
So there is yes, Port Barry won the game, but in the long run, there's a silver lining for these, you know, younger kids getting in.
Hey,
And that's going to
some
pay off.
winnable games the rest of the way.
Right.
Absolutely.
And
Some real tough ones the rest of the way too, because you know when they start district, look out.
that was this.
I know, but they was, but I mean.
Cool,
The,
they got
the
some-
leaders of our district, the ones that have been
Iotas,
playing before,
Northwest,
Iotas,
Church
the
Points,
Northwest, Church
yeah.
Point, blah, blah. Those are the ones that you see them hard in their
Just go
pop every
compete.
year. Just
Yeah.
go and compete. That's what I want.
But they got some winnable games
Oh,
the
they
rest
do.
of the way.
They definitely do.
Yes, indeed. Hey, Holly's lock of the week, big time win tonight. She was mad. She
got
lost
mad.
last week. Elton let her down. She said, "Give me St. Ed's by 50 tonight over Crescent City, 56-6. The Blue Jays roll
Oh,
at
my God.
home tonight.
Yeah.
No problems with Crescent City. I'm sure that that running back for St. Ed's might have ran
Oh
wild
yeah,
tonight.
he must have went nuts. Yes.
Hey, I'm excited to see St. Ed's very soon.
Yeah.
Very soon moving forward. I get a call a game very soon, so we'll see which week I have moving forward. Church Point looking to get inside the win column for the first time this year. 3 tough losses the last 3 weeks. You had to think Pine Prairie, you just tune up the band tonight. It was going to roll, give Coach Poole his first win of the season. And Church
They
Point,
did.
you're going to be feeling pretty good coming out of this, just knowing that you got that monkey off your back after 3 tough losses.
Right.
52-14 final. Battling Bears get in the win column tonight. Watch out. Let's see if they start rolling.
You got to watch. This Church Point team is scary.
Yeah.
And, you know, the talent that they have. Church Point has always had talent.
And they're
They've
hungry.
oh, God, they are hungry. So look out.
Yeah, 1-3 scary. You don't say that often.
No.
1 and 3 that can really go in there and chew you up and spit
Oh,
you
yes,
out.
they can.
So look out.
Hey, you know what's a really good 3-1 football team? Iota.
Oh,
The
yes.
Bulldogs of Iota had Ville Platte tonight. Ville Platte falls to 0-4 on the year. It would be Iota, 49-8 winners at home. Iota Church Point, they look like they're on a collision course.
course later on down the line. Man,
Yeah.
that may be your district champions right there. You know,
It could be.
Unless Northwest has
Unless
anything to say
Northwest
about it.
Right,
throws
but
a
you
wrench
never know.
into their plans.
But you got to understand, you got Northwest, you got Church Point, you got you know, Iota. Man, those 3 teams are awesome, and it wouldn't surprise me if they just beat each other.
Yeah.
You know, because they're all good enough to do that.
Yes.
So look out. It's going to be interesting
I
towards
like
the end of
that,
the year.
Iota's got
Yeah.
one more big non-district test next week at Jennings. That's going to be huge.
Absolutely.
Bro, most definitely, yes.
Southside Nish tonight. Nish put up a good battle tonight. Hung up 26 on the road. Where was I at here? Nish and Southside.
East and Southside, yes.
26-49 victory. Sharks get their offense back in gear tonight. They roll at home after a tough emotional defeat a week ago. You got to think this one feels good after an emotional loss last week.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Most definitely, yes.
And hats off to Nish for hanging in there and really making them work for it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, Nish is a good football team that's caught some bad breaks these last few weeks.
Right.
They played a gauntlet these first
Yeah.
4 weeks. I mean, you start your season with Westgate, and then you go right into district play
Yeah.
and play some top dogs.
Yeah.
So it's tough right now at Nish, but at least they competed tonight for sure.
But
Congratulations to the Sharks.
But that district is unbelievable.
It is.
We'll talk
It's
about
like
that.
the SEC West.
Yeah, you pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, ERAF Vermilion Catholic, good rivalry game here between these 2 teams. It's always a great football game, but now you come into this one and you have an ERAF team that is reeling. They're 0-3. That's not something we're accustomed to. I said going into the season, I thought ERAF had the best shot to challenge St. Martinville for that district title. Boy, was I wrong. They are at an 0-4 hole right now. Can they climb their way out of it? That's what I want to see moving forward. Vermilion Catholic, just pick off of where you left off last year. Just start the season 4-0. Just defend your home turf and just hang up 38 tonight. Your defense is good and your offense is really good, led by number 1. That kid over there playing quarterback. He's shifty. He's good. Yeah, and this Vermilion Catholic Screaming Eagle team, watch out, 4-0.
Right.
You know who else is good?
Yes, sir.
You know who else is 4-0? The Bunkie
The
Panthers, baby.
God,
We
man,
said that was a
that's
team.
some grown men there.
We said that was a team that had the best defense I've seen up to this point in the season, and I still think that's the same case.
Well, you gotta understand. I wasn't able to go and cover the game live with you, but I watched it.
Yes.
You know, I watched it. Now, we were talking in the chat and everything like that. Those guys have, you know, put it together.
They played a part.
They've put it together. They support each other. They have a young man that is playing for them that I was so impressed with. Fast, moves, gets the ball and goes. I mean, so you got to understand, they are going to rattle some cages this year.
Which team would catch my eye and I would be all on board this year? It came in week 1.
Right.
Watch out, Bunkie
Bunkie.
Panthers 4-0. Whenever they meet up with Gina, Jake,
that is going to be a
that's a
ball game.
good game.
But you got to think, Caldwell Parish will have something to say about their tough outing. Marshfield, that's an in-parish rival. You never know. But I'm going to tell you, when I seen what Bunkie did at Catholic Point Capee first game, I was sold.
Right. Well, same way across the board.
4-0, 48-0 shutout against Avoyles tonight. Boy, Avoyles is 0-4, and they got to go to LCA next week. Man, that's tough sledding, man.
You're right.
Whew.
Power points up.
You're right. This next team's tough, too.
Hey, Welsh, the Greyhounds started out a little rocky in the season. Seems like they found their gear these last 2 weeks. 2 big wins back-to-back weeks. How about a 66-0 victory over Pickering? That's a road win. So when you go get a road win anytime, it feels good. Executing the game plan, traveling, and just coming out of it with a victory. So congratulations to Welsh. We'll see what they do in district play.
Right, most definitely.
Catholic of Point Capee versus LaGrange. We said this would be maybe a chance for LaGrange to go win a game going against a injured Catholic of Point Capee Hornet team. Came in with some injuries, but the Hornets on the road, hey, they're physical. They play with a chip on their shoulder week in and week out, and they'll line up against anybody in the state of Louisiana. That's the type of attitude they have over there.
Yeah.
And tonight it proved it again. They moved to 2-2 on the year. It's a 38-18 road win for the Hornets. You know, that drive felt good coming back. That's a long road trip.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
New Roads to Lake Charles, that's a good little drive, and for Catholic to go down there and handle business against LaGrange in the swamp, I mean, that's saying a lot.
Gary, before you go, that district is gearing up to be special.
One of the best districts that I've seen.
That St. Ed's, that OC, that Catholic of Point Capee.
Once they get later in the season, after they get all of that done, and they start playing each other, that's when it gets really exciting. So you got to watch it. Catholic of Point Capee
That
is
district
tough.
is wide open.
Wide open right now.
Go ahead, Mr. Swallow. Hey, Cecilia, really good football team. 65-14 win over a winless Crawley team tonight. Cecilia has played some tough teams out the gate, but they have showed up week in and week out. So an easier game this week, and they just dominated. You go into these easy games, sometimes they can be a trap game. Sometimes you can play laxy-daisy, and things can happen where you just struggle to move the ball or turnovers pile up. But tonight, Cecilia, no problems with Crawley on the road. 65-14. It's a really good 3-1 football team in Cecilia. I look forward to when they meet up with Breaux Bridge. I look forward to whenever they meet up with OHS in this district and see who goes win that district title. But right now, you got to think Cecilia is a highly favorite, knowing that they're going to have OHS at home this year.
Yeah, and you know, Jordan, Cecilia's one of those teams. Don't turn your back on them. They will find a way to beat you anyway and everywhere. It don't matter where they play you. And I'm gonna tell you, look, some people had questions about Cecilia going this year. I didn't. Cecilia's Cecilia, and they're gonna be competitive, and they're gonna come right at you and give you everything they got. And tonight they just really flexed their muscle. But yeah, it's gonna be real fun once they get into district play with OHS and the others.
Hey, you know a lot about this Sam Houston football team.
Oh, do I?
Broncos are 4-0, Jake. They have steamrolled over the past 4 opponents here, and this offense is really good. This offense is putting up numbers week in and week out. I know they have not played the juggernauts of the district yet, but that's positive news going into some big-time district games the rest of the way. Sam Houston, 51-0 road win over Como tonight. I mean, you go on the road and do that tonight. I mean, that speaks volumes about your offense, but a defensive shutout on the road. Hello, Broncos. You got my attention.
And I'm going to tell you, I watched them week 1 against Manny. Manny wasn't playing quite their best ball at the time, but I'm going to tell you, Sam Houston has some dudes. And, defensively, they're just locked down. Yes, thank you. And defensively, they're just locked down, man. And, for them to go make the trip down I-10 to Lafayette and play Como and shut them out the way they did, I'm going to tell you, some people are suggesting that they might win this district. I know that's a wild thing to say, but at the high level they're playing right now, and I'm going to tell you, last year they gave Carencro all they wanted. They gave KDN all they wanted. Sam Houston is slowly getting better and progressing. And I'm going to tell you, don't be surprised if they pull off a major upset in this district.
Well, it depends on where it is.
Very much so.
Yeah.
If Carencro welcomes them at the Crow
Yeah.
Open Air Crow Dome, I'm going to tell you right now, there's no place to play like the Open Air Crow Dome.
I'm not sure where the games are, but we said it 2 weeks ago that Sam Houston very well could finish top 3 in this district, and I'm going to stick with it another week here.
They got a big date with Sulphur at home next Friday night, and that's a rivalry. That's going to be real close.
Hello, rivalry.
Yeah, most definitely. And whenever you're dealing with rivalries, it's all good. That's trash can over.
Hey, how about the Crusaders of Opelousas, Gary?
I'm telling you.
We said Hamilton Christian would be emotional tonight playing for their coach. We figured emotional win would be in store, but the Crusaders, under first-year head coach, they're playing inspired football, and they move to back to 500, a 2-2 record. Hey, Westminster, you're starting to get our attention here. We're gonna have to watch out for you when you go into district play.
Most definitely.
You got some athletes that are in that receiving core. You got a pretty good quarterback, so. Crusaders on the road tonight. Big upset over Hamilton Christian, 34-26. Congratulations, WCA.
Yes.
Right, most definitely.
Congratulations.
Rose Pine versus Vinton tonight. Rose Pine's homecoming, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Hey, we talked about Port Barry earlier. Always important when you win a homecoming night. A lot of alumni comes back. You play with a little bit of extra step and you play with a little bit extra in you, and I like Coach Ducote over there. Very nice to us when we went down there. They were humble, respectful, man. So congratulations, Coach Ducote. That's a big time win for your program to move to 2-2 in the year.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Offensively they struggled here and there, but I'm gonna tell you, to get a big, homecoming win, and look, perhaps maybe it wasn't the prettiest win, but a win's a win.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you though, Vinton made them work for it, and Vinton's not a bad football team. Their numbers are low, but Coach Laverne's doing a heck of a job over there. And but hats off to Coach Ducote and Rose Pine. They needed this win, and
they got it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of momentum going forward.
Hey, Mr. Jarrett said drop passes fumble in the second quarter and 2 interceptions late in the fourth quarter cost Vinton.
Yeah.
Hey Gary, hot take. Rose Pine beats DeQuincy next week.
Might. They may well.
Watch it. I don't know. DeQuincy played center is pretty doggone tough.
His eyebrows went all the way to his hairline. You saw they went, whoa!
That's a rivalry. No, DeQuincy played St. Mary's real tough last
Oh,
night,
yeah,
but hats off to St. Mary's.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, most definitely,
Just
man.
wanna fire you up a little bit.
You know we picked, man. It's all good.
Now that's a rivalry.
Hey, Abbeville Wildcats welcome in Beauchamp Gators tonight. Gators look for their second win of the year, but it would not come easy. You got to go down to Coach Moy's Abbeville Wildcats, and whenever that defense gets rolling, they're hard to stop. We challenged them this week at the Wednesday night show. We said, this is a good game. If you want to get your offense start to click as district play gets rolling soon, you go get it tonight.
Yeah,
And they did it, Gary.
They did.
They got
came
a
out and
big
they did well.
36-7 win. Maybe that's the confidence the offense needs moving forward, knowing that, hey, we have an opportunity to go win a district title also.
Most definitely. You know, they need to
You
get
got
that
the
rolling.
defense.
Yeah, they got a great defense, but they got to get that offense clicking. That's very important. When you get to district, you got to have both aspects of the, you know, the team, or actually all three. You got to have offense, defense. You got to have these special teams working for you. But you got to have the offense and defense really pushing it. So, and they did. Man, that was a great win tonight.
Yeah.
Absolutely, my friend. Hey, Holy Savior Menard. That's a 1-2 football team. Came into Sacred Heart of Ville Platte tonight. They're not a 1-2 ball club.
No,
not
not at
for
all.
any instances.
Not at all.
And shame on us for going against them on Wednesday night. Sacred Heart. We start with a 2-1 record. They were playing with a little confidence at home. Could they steal a win here? I didn't see a 31-0 shutout,
No.
but that must say what they have on that other side of the field. Holy Savior Menard.
They just put it on them.
Yeah, Holy Savior Menard must have something we don't know about.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Menard lost a tough one to, in the Bishop Bowl. They called it to rival St. Mary's last week, and that did not sit well with them.
Okay.
And Menard's got some athletes, and they fought on hard times, but they felt confident enough this week to go down to Ville Platte and handle business, and that's exactly what they did.
No, they didn't just handle it.
Well,
They dominated. They put a good one on there.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you that they got a little momentum rolling in, because I think they start district either next week or 2 weeks from now, and that could be their potential district contender.
Hey, our buddy Mr. Josh Johnson must be reeling tonight. LCA loss and Sacred Heart loss.
I know. Well, isn't it? Who, man?
Call and check on them in the morning.
Yeah. He was like lost. But it's, hey, he'll be all right. He'll be all right.
Hey, Berwick met up with Northside tonight. We saw a little bit of the stat line earlier.
Yeah.
Jonathan Barnett, 4 touchdown nights was the difference. Northside at home, 28-14 winners. Northside 3-1. The side is back, baby. Revived and better than ever. Head coach Ja'Cory Carter has done tremendous work there in his short period of time. Whenever you get an alumni to come back and take over, it speaks volumes.
Most definitely. And we've seen them before, and they have athletes, and when you have somebody that can come in and put all that together, it's awesome. Oh, by the way, we're still waiting for our helmet. But anyway,
As soon as we
don't worry, I'm throwing that. When I don't have it in my hands, I'm gonna throw it. It's gonna be
Gary's just ripping them.
I'm ripping them.
Man.
But no, I gotta say, Northside is very improved. I mean, we did them last year, and that was one of the best games we ever did. We ever covered. Well, actually, you covered, because I was on a Thursday.
One of the best games in 5 years.
So I mean, they're just improving, and I don't know when it's going to be, but eventually they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in this district.
Absolutely.
And look out, Northside, like you said, the side is back.
And they got the culture.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't so long ago that they were in state title game and making deep run. The culture is there, and give it time.
It's going to come.
Oh yes.
Coach Brody, they going down good tonight, my friend.
Oh yeah.
I see him in the chat. I know it's a tough one to swallow, so they're going down good tonight.
Yeah, I understand.
Get off the people about the helmets, Gary.
No, man, I want to fill this wall up.
One
Hey,
day,
it's all jokes,
Hey.
guys. So don't get crazy on me.
one day at a time, my friend.
Thanks
One
to
day.
Coach Davis, we finally got a little bit of Jeff Davis Parish on the panel. We got 3 more to go, Jeff Davis.
One day at a time, my friend. We welcome them any day of the week, any point of the year.
I know it. But you just got to remind them friendly. Hey, friendly reminder.
Yeah.
Hey, Lake Charles College Prep and South Beauregard. This is an improved South Beauregard team, to say the
Absolutely.
least. When you go and think they're bottom of the barrel of this district in football play, now they're starting to turn a page here
Right.
and trying to get in that middle of the pack contention. And it shows big time tonight if you stay in a ball game with a Lake Charles College Prep team and fall by 6 at home. So South Beau can go upset some teams moving forward here. 20-14 Lake Charles College Prep over South Beau.
And I'm going to tell you, Coach Brad Kellogg does a tremendous job at South Beauregard. He was my high school coach when he was at DeQuincy. And he knows how to shut down LCCP. He's done it as a DC at Westlake twice. And I knew when he took this job, I said, South Beauregard's going to turn some heads. I watched them in person last week when DeQuincy went over there, and they are a very well-oiled machine on defense. They run the double wing. They're going to make you work for it. It's nothing fancy, but they'll make you work for it. They have nothing to hang their heads about in this 20-14 loss. That they made LCCP work for it. LCCP is a good football team. South Beauregard, I'm telling you, they're going to reel off a couple victories here in district coming up.
Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah, they're not the South Beau of old anymore.
So Iowa and Jennings next up, same district.
Cool, yeah.
Iowa is your district champs from a year ago, trying to go repeat. Not an easy task, to say the least. They graduated a lot there at Iowa, but they started off tonight with a big win on the road at Jennings. So their quest to go repeat as district champs just took a step forward.
Right.
They're 1-0. How about a
35-28.
35-28 was the final score, correct?
Right.
Iowa moves to 2-2 in the year. Jennings drops to 2-2 in the year. So that's a good football game tonight over there at Jennings.
And,
Oh, definitely.
and I don't know who picked who, but I'm going to tell you, whether you picked Iowa or Jennings, it's not a bad pick. Those teams are 2 evenly matched teams. I'm not surprised at the score. It don't matter if them 2 meet in a cow pasture. It's going to be a knockdown, drag out. Coach Fuselaar at Jennings has nothing to hang his head about. He played a very good football team. He's got a very good football team himself. He's still in the district race.
You still got to go forward. You still definitely got to go forward.
But that district, we all talk about 3 5As in the SEC West, but District 4 3A might possibly be the toughest 3A district in the state.
Absolutely.
No, I agree.
But besides 2-3, the Monroe district.
Ascension Episcopal, we talked about it Wednesday night. We said they were an improved football team. They are playing well here to start the season. You schedule Brobridge for homecoming night.
Ooh.
That's brutal, my friends.
That's tough, man. That's a tough task.
That's a tough task, knowing that Brobridge team come off a quarterfinal appearance last year, and they returned so much of that team. So they had high expectations this year. Brobridge 1-2 on the year right now. So could they turn their season around and get back to 500 this week and try to go knock off Ascension Episcopal for homecoming? They just wouldn't do it. They would go dominate it tonight on the road.
They really did it.
45-16. How about the Tigers of Brobridge? Congratulations to Coach over there.
Over the years, Brobridge, when they're good, they're good. When they're not so good, they're still good. I'm sorry. We've been knowing. I know I'm the old man of the bunch, but I'm gonna tell you right now, we played them years and years when I was in school and everything. And after that, they at one time, that was a steady game that we had every year. And when they were down, they were still hard to beat. Whenever they were up, they were definitely hard to beat.
Yeah.
You know, but that's a good football team.
And real quick, guys, Blaze Smith said in chat, Acadian ACA is, I'm assuming Acadian Christian.
A homeschool.
That's a
Homeschool,
yeah.
they lost 45-12 to Evadale, Texas tonight. So.
Yeah.
Hey, White Castle rolled over Livonia tonight, 28-0. So
Yeah.
White Castle goes to
Yeah.
4-0 in the year. The Battle of the Bayou, Gary, stays in Basile another week. Let me rub it in real quick for you and just say, I told you so.
That's right. Don't worry. I'll take care of that later.
I passed a lot of elderly people coming on the way back from Basile.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Hey, Basile looks like they're getting healthy. Looks like they're ready to go defend their district title.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, you know,
27-8 was a final score there.
we talked to Sam on the way back. There's a couple of things that I didn't know. I didn't know that they were starting to get some of their players back and all that, but they were injured. They were banged up really bad. That's why I kind of wasn't sure. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm very happy that Sam and them are starting to get healthy, because I don't care who you are, I don't care what team you belong to. I want to see you at your best, and I want to see you have your healthy players there at all times. So congratulations, Sam. Well deserved win.
Absolutely. Hey, they got gate on next week, so get in, get out, stay healthy.
Stay healthy. That's the most important thing. What we talked about on the way back. Yeah.
Bearcats moved to 2-2 on the year. Congratulations to the Basile Bearcats. Enjoy your weekend to all of my friends over there.
Right. Most definitely.
Did not see a shutout coming here, folks. DeRidder knocks off Westlake at home 27-0. We came in Wednesday night, we said Westlake, they're averaging like 30 plus, 40 plus points a game, leading the area in total points scored, and shut out
By the
tonight.
I had to rub my eyes twice when I looked at that score.
I couldn't believe it, man. Whenever you told me that, I went, huh?
I was baffled, and I'll tell you, them two. It's always a good contest every year, and it's not very often that one shuts out the other, and I mean by a wide margin like that.
Right. I mean that's not a normal.
Right, and I mean Westlake has been rolling up until tonight. Coach Parmley, hey, credit Coach Brad Parmley at DeRidder. He must have changed something up this week in practice. And it paid off.
DeRidder coming off of a
Put
loss.
something in the water.
Put something in the water, DeRidder.
DeRidder coming off of a loss to Jennings, so they were motivated tonight for
Absolutely.
sure. Hey, how about a game of the night caliber? Maybe it might fall on these guys later on tonight. We'll see. Grand Lake Oakdale shootout for the ages tonight. It was a good one at the O tonight, boys and girls. Grand Lake falls 38-44. Oakdale Warriors move to 4-0 on the year. Gary, I had one person, the first person in the chat the other night said Warriors are going to go 4-0. That was the very first comment in the chat.
I remember that.
Hey, they did.
They did. Congratulations to Mikey and all the coaching staff at Oakdale. Let me tell you something. They
got a good one next week.
They have a consistent team, but they got a good one next week. So look out.
Yes, indeed. St. Ed's Oakdale next week. I can't wait to see
That's
that
gonna be
score.
Guys, I almost went to that game tonight. I thought about it, so well, I'm either going to go to Kinder, St. Louis, or Oakdale, Grand Lake. I actually, while we were under the delay, I actually listened to a little bit of the game on the radio, and I'm going to tell you, Oakdale took that game personal tonight. They went down to Grand Lake last year, lost a tough one, I think in overtime it was, 26-20, and, they said, hey, Coach Dietrich said, hey, we're not going to let these guys beat us 2 years in a row. They're coming to our turf, so let's take it to them. 44-30, that's one heck of a performance, offensively especially, and hats off to Oakdale.
That tells me that's a back and forth game that just is awesome. I
knew that was going to be a back and forth game, just by how similar both teams are on paper.
Right, but I'm gonna tell you, and I don't know how you guys feel. That's one of the most exciting ball games. When you see somebody go boom, 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 score, or whatever, and you see a defensive stop, and then you see something, but it's back and forth and back and forth. That's your exciting game. That's where you get on the edge of your seats and you can't sit still. You know, so it's awesome.
And I'm gonna tell you, Oakdale's on a roll. I don't think they're getting enough credit like they should.
Right.
But I'm not going to take nothing away from Coach Wainwright and Grant Lake. They are a very well coached football team, and they're a force to be reckoned with in the district. But something about those Oakdale Warriors, man, they're a force to be reckoned with. They are very underrated, and I think everybody needs to be keeping an eye on them a lot more.
Right. Oh, I agree with you. But look out. I'm going to tell you. I don't know what they're doing, but I know I've been knowing Mikey for Coach Mikey over there is one of my students, from way back whenever he was young. And, I've watched him grow, and I think he's doing a great job, and I think that they have a good mix over there.
Yeah.
So look out.
And they got some athletes.
Watch it.
Hey, my number will not be posted on the billboard this week.
No.
No, mine will not. Mine won't either.
Hey, would it be a bad take to say Karen Crow is top 5 in the state right now, team-wise?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. There's not a doubt in my mind.
I agree. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
After the way they played through 4 weeks.
Unbelievable.
Points scored, man.
Unbelievable.
This Karen Crow Golden Bear football team is hitting on all cylinders, and to go knock off Southside a week ago on the road and the way they did it and just come hang up 57 tonight on Sulphur, the Crow Dome was rocking. This Karen Crow team is moving to 4-0 on the year. Keep a close eye on the Bears from the Crow. We'll see how they finish up in this district race, but right now, they're scary.
They are. And you know what? They're only going to get scarier because I'm going to tell you right now, as they're like a
57-14 was the final score there.
It's like a well-oiled machine. It just keeps getting better and better and better. So look out.
Yes, indeed. Hey, Parkview Baptist knocked off Madison Prep tonight, 28-21.
Did not see that.
A lot of people didn't see that happen tonight. They thought Madison Prep was the better football team.
Right.
But Parkview Baptist at home, good win for the Eagles.
Parkview is always tough. Parkview has always been a tough, especially at home. I didn't see this coming. I thought Madison was going to go out there and step up and do it, but it doesn't surprise me. But that must have been a great ball game. You said 28-21?
Yes.
Who had the ball last?
Go.
That's one of those. So look out.
Hey.
Those Baton Rouge schools are always at each other's throats. I mean, it's always close. I mean, you see how what ULAB did to Catholic Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Nobody expect. If you'd have told me at the beginning of the season that ULAB was going to upset, I'd say you're crazy. But here we are, week 4.
It happened.
And I'm
Here we are, week 4, and Catholic is sitting 2-2 on the year.
That's
scary.
You don't hear that very often.
Acadiana Wrecking Rams wrecked shop tonight.
Fear the Veer, buddy.
Fear the Veer. I mean, they lost electricity for a little while at the stadium. That's a storyline waiting to happen in the newspapers tomorrow. But their offense didn't lose any power. The Fear the Veer was in full gear tonight, Gary. 63-12 final over Lafayette.
Man. Flex them muscles.
Acadiana Karen Crow collision course.
That's setting up a championship game.
Yeah.
Look out.
And
I would love to be there like a little birdie on the fence.
I
would be like, let's watch it.
Catholic in New Iberia, we saw them at the Jamboree.
Sure did.
We were impressed.
Right, we did, and we were.
But were we impressed to see a lopsided score tonight over Leesville?
No, we didn't expect
stop
that.
Xavier Ford the way they did. 31-14 at home over Leesville. Catholic New Iberia has to be the favorite in that district.
Most definitely. That was a surprise for me. I thought Leesville was going to have the edge, but Catholic and New Iberia came out ready to play.
And
it's just unbelievable.
The irony is, I think if I'm not mistaken, when Leesville beat them last year, that was the same score.
Okay.
Probably.
But I'm gonna tell you, Leesville's a good football team.
I don't remember what happened yesterday.
I don't know. Catholic stepped up. For Catholic to go knock off Parkview Baptist, then for them to have a stellar performance, not just beat Leesville, but shut them down and really contain Xavier Ford. I'm gonna tell you, Xavier Ford is one of the most underrated run backs in the state. You don't just shut them down.
Right.
It takes a special group to do that. And for them to go down to New Iberia night and you know, Catholic to do that, hats off to them.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I was definitely.
You know, I personally thought this would be a neck and neck close game, two good football teams, but Catholic wanted more.
I didn't see the difference like that.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, Coach Causey, I know him real well, and he loves scheduling tough competition. I'm gonna tell you, he intentionally put scheduled tournaments for that scrimmage, and he told their coach, "Hey, bring it full throttle. I want our kids to know what it's like to play, you know, playoff like caliber teams to prepare for the season." And you know what? You know, this is gonna make them better.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna look back from this and they're gonna move on to district.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta compete with these good teams. The old saying is, to be the champion, you gotta beat the champion. Well, you know, if you can't compete against good quality teams, you're never gonna be a champion.
Right, and I'm a firm believer in either playing up or playing somebody that's really good.
Right.
You know, I'm not one to play against, you know, not so good competition. Right. I'm all for playing the best to prepare you for district play, the playoffs, and eventually state championship.
Right. Oh, I agree.
Hey, Sterlington tonight beat down undefeated Carroll 46-6. People better start paying attention to Sterlington.
Yes.
Carroll gets their first loss of the season. Is it a really good Sterlington team that they lost to, or was Carroll not really a 3-0 team? We have to keep an eye on that moving forward. Calvary Baptist, close win tonight over Wassman, 21-6. Wassman might be a little bit better than people expect. That's a 3-1 team now, but we'll see Wassman moving forward after keeping that score close tonight. Jeanerette 22-0 over Centerville. So some 3-0 battles going on tonight. The Tigers of Jeanerette 4-0 now. Gary, we're going to have to keep our eyes on them. They're starting to gain major traction in the state of Louisiana.
You're right.
Keep a close eye out on them. And then you had a rematch with Newman and Manny. This time they met up in New Orleans, and it would be the Greenies. 49-31 over Manny. Manny falls to 2-2 in the year, and the Newman Greenies are 4-0.
Tough place to win.
Can we finally see Newman get to the Dome?
That may
Maybe.
That may
Can
be.
we finally see it?
That may happen.
And honestly, guys, I feel like Newman might be better than they were last year. I know that's saying that it's a broad statement because of Orange, but I think everything was so, you know, surrounded. The cameras were on Orange last year, you know. But I think now
they can play.
Yeah.
Now they can.
I'm gonna tell you, when they went to Shreveport last week.
Braden, what's your thoughts on Newman? Are they 10-0 good? Can they make a run? I have not seen them play in person. You have. You've seen everybody play in person. So what is your thoughts on Newman? Leave it in the chat.
If there's anybody knows, it's him.
Yeah.
But for Newman to have a defensive stand like they did last week, and then tonight, I mean,
Yes.
I'm sold on Newman.
They're playing good ball.
Hey, Tioga moves to 4-0 in the year also. They go on the road, knock off a Marksville team that was playing with major confidence out of the roof. A 1-9 team a year ago comes in tonight 3-0. So you know they had something special going into that game tonight. But Tioga, too good all the time. A lot of athletes, good coaches.
Tioga is
42-14 on the road. Tioga.
Yeah.
Well, stays perfect.
Yeah, Tioga's tough all the time.
I thought that game would be much closer. I'm a little starstruck to see that wide of a margin.
Right.
But hats off to Tioga.
Absolutely. St. Martinville, Westgate meeting on the gridiron tonight. Two good football teams throw the records out of the door. You know they love this matchup, the communities, the players, the coaches. Did it live up to the hype? Let's see. St. Martinville scores 32, but Westgate's offense too good tonight. 49-31 49-32 winners at home. Westgate moves to 4-0. Westgate got a fun matchup next week.
Westgate is always there.
Westgate to the dome.
To the dome, though. I gotta say, Westgate, if they keep this
If
up,
they can keep it up. We'll see what they do in district play.
Whenever they get there and see what district looks at, but man, why not?
Why not?
Hey, Santa Mont stays perfect on the season. A home win tonight against Opelousas High School. You know that must feel good to get revenge from last year's loss to the Tigers. I heard it was a block punt, the difference maker in that one.
Wow.
Hats off to the Gators over there at Santa Mont. Big time win, 28-22. Tigers fall to 2-2 on the season.
Man,
Hey, Tigers got a big one next week.
Yeah.
We'll see.
they do, but I mean, I'm gonna tell you, OHS is still playing good. That loss is, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't care what anybody says. Santa Mont is always good.
Yeah.
4-0.
They are always good. They have tradition. They have everything. But you know, OHS, don't hang your heads too much. Get ready for the next one. You got a tough one coming up.
Yeah, they're all tough.
Yeah, they're all tough
Yeah.
from now on.
That's
From now on, they're all tough.
They've been tough since week 1.
Right.
Yes, indeed, my friend.
You're right.
Hey, we talked about homecoming night across the state of Louisiana. Well, homecoming will sweep up the road for sure. Eunice Bobcats welcome in the Northwest Raiders tonight. The panel did not see this going this way. Just the way both teams have played the last few weeks. Eunice close win a week ago to Ovoyos. Northwest, couple back-to-back blowout wins. We thought they had their groove.
Yeah.
But you come into homecoming night, you say you play with a little more emotion. Bobcats at home tonight, get a win, move to 3-1 on the year. 19-8, they shut down that Raider offense.
Right. That surprised me.
So
That really
hats
is
off to the Bobcats of Eunice. Big time win tonight for homecoming.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, that really did surprise me. I didn't see that coming at all.
Eunice needed that one.
Bobcats 3-1. Don't they have rain next week?
Is it in Eunice or at Rain?
I think it's in Eunice. I don't know who they play.
But check.
I think the coach was telling us that they play Eunice next week when we were talking to Rain, right?
I think so.
Turling's Notre Dame, always a great rivalry here. This seems like it's back and forth every year of who wins these games. I would love to see the overall of who leads this series. Tonight, Rebels bounce back in a big way. Turling's 34-14 over the Pios. Turling's coming off of that St. Charles loss. You know they wanted to bounce back. You know they wanted to improve. You know that they wanted to have a good showing at home, and they did.
Tell you what, they did a real good job. I thought this was going to be a knockdown, drag out, and because you know, first of all, they're rivals.
Yeah.
But you know, you have Notre Dame that's had such good success, won many state championships and everything over there, and you have Turlings.
We said this was the best Turlings team we've seen in many years.
And they proved it.
Absolutely.
They proved it. This game, they proved it. They did what they had to do. They dominated. They controlled it. And guess what?
And you don't just beat Notre Dame soundly like that. It takes a special type of football team to do that. And for Turling to do that, hats off to them.
Like I said,
Very
we
well
said
said.
this at the beginning of the year. Best Turling team
Right.
we've seen.
And I know we speak all the time about LCA and STM, you know, they're fighting for the district. Hey, what about Turlings? What about them? You know, they're saying, hey, what about us? You know, hey,
Yeah.
we're in the fight too.
What about Westgate?
What about Westgate? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that's, you know.
You can't take nothing
No.
against all those teams there. It's just like
As crazy as it sounds.
What about them?
Right, as crazy as it sounds, Northside, you never know. They could pull a wild card and throw a monkey wrench in some, you never know.
Yeah.
Haynesville knocked off Glenbrook in the battle with the undefeateds tonight, 34-14. That Golden Tornado team just seems like year in and year out, they're always
Tradition.
That
They're
tornado's
always
always turning,
spinning.
man. Always spinning. Look out.
You were asking about Eunice. They've got Catholic Newberry at home and then at Rain.
Hooray, guy.
Who's Rain got? I can tell you.
Coach was telling us Eunice.
Yeah.
No, they got to go. Ooh, the rivalry. They got to go to Crowley. Them two don't like each other very much.
Yeah.
Rain and Crowley.
Okay.
It'll be at
Yeah,
Crowley.
well, that's Rain right there, Crowley right there.
Yeah.
St. Thomas More, Catholic of Baton Rouge. It was back and forth all night. They got started late. It was fireworks.
We were listening to that on the way back from our game and enjoying every minute of it too.
Yeah.
St. Thomas More, game sealing interception at the end, 35-28. Hey, it was a screen pass
Right.
to go with the go-ahead touchdown for St. Thomas More.
Right.
Was the difference.
It was, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it like a throwback screen?
I think
Because
so.
I think they rolled it and he threw it back across and he just got in there and he took it to the house.
It's hard to beat the Cougars at Cougar Stadium.
You're right.
And once again, St. Thomas More revenge last year's loss to Catholic of Baton Rouge. Get a big time win at home tonight. They're on a collision course with LCA Westgate Turbans.
Right. Who's gonna win? Flip a coin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Who's the home team?
That's right.
LCA and Ruston. It came down to the final 20 seconds in that when LCA clawed back. Dwan Johnson did not play his best. I heard it was 5 turnovers, 2 pick sixes. Tonight, Ruston escapes at home 29-26 because if you could play that bad and still only lose by 3, imagine if you clean up the turnovers.
Yeah. Oh, man.
What that score could have been.
You know, I personally thought LCA would win that game by a touchdown and a half. But then again, anybody that knows North Louisiana football knows that Ruston is an extremely tough place to play. I mean, it's just as hard as West Monroe. And you don't just go into Ruston and expect you're going to walk all over them. They're going to make you work for it. You better bring your lunch pail, you know.
That's exactly what I agree with you too. But you had LCA clicking on all cylinders, and you're going to go up there and you're going to turn the ball over. What? 3, 4 times, 5 times, 5 times. So you're going to turn the ball over 5 times and still have a chance to win it at the end. Man, that is amazing.
But you got
And you know the thing that I'm gonna tell you the most? I would hate to be the one to play LCA next week.
Yes. Oh.
I know that's why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Guess what? This is gonna get ugly
Quick.
and it's gonna be a pounding. And oh my God!
But
So
you know, and I'm gonna tell you, Ruston knew how good LCA was, and they
Ruston got
perhaps
another tough one next week too.
yeah,
and they perhaps might have felt like, okay, well maybe we might be an underdog in this, and that really put a chip on their shoulder, really. Because I'm gonna tell you, you know, if
Ruston's
you get right
good.
under Ruston's skin, they're gonna show you.
Ruston is a very sound, good football team. Year after year after year, we've talked about them.
Big Ruston.
Big Ruston. That's unbelievable.
Hey, other scores of interest. Central Catholic knocked off Covington Christian in overtime tonight, 34-33.
Wow.
East
Wow.
Everville knocked off Baker tonight in overtime, 32-26.
Whoa,
So
man.
some other scores of interest.
Awesome.
Hey, let's go games of the night, ladies and gentlemen. The panel about to pick games of the night. We'll start out with Mr. Swallow.
My games of the night were pretty simple. I think the STM and Catholic game, that was, a game of the night. We listened to it on the way back. Iowa, their win over Jennings, I think was, and believe it or not, Brobridge over, I think that was the game of the night as far as, I didn't expect that.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with that.
Jake, game of the night. Games of the night, game of the night, whatever you want. It's
Well, I got 3. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, but Oakdale over Grand Lake.
Yeah.
And we all knew that had the potential to be the shootout it was. Like I said, both teams are very similar on paper. Obviously, STM over Catholic High. That was one of the top 2 games of the state. And then, obviously, you got Ruston and the LCA. I would have loved to have attended that game.
Right. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Hey, games of the night for myself. Gotta go with Ruston over LCA.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
it came down to the final few plays in the final few seconds. Rain over Kaplan earns game of the night. In my
we did,
opinion,
yeah.
we saw a good one.
Got wet and everything.
Oakdale over Grand Lake earns game of the night honors. Iowa over Jennings earns game of the night honors. And St. Thomas More over Catholic of Baton Rouge earns game of the night honors. Gary, when we talk upsets of the night, who you got?
I got DeRidder over Westlake.
Yes.
I got Menard over Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
I got Parkview over Madison Prep.
Okay.
And believe it or not, I got Westminster Christian Academy over Hamilton Christian.
There you go. Jake?
Man, probably the biggest one in the state, in my opinion, was Parkview over Madison Prep.
Okay.
No, I don't think anybody's seen that coming. All I can say is, wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Wow. That's
wow.
right.
That
Don't
was a
take
wow.
the line.
Put it on a t-shirt.
That's
Copyright. Also, and here's a bold one: North Webster over Richwood.
Okay.
You know, North Webster had a little shakiness coming this season. Richwood's Richwood, and they're propelling to to have a great
Your
season.
phone's cracked?
Huh?
Your phone's cracked, dog?
Wow. Oh, that's just the cover.
Go ahead,
Time
sir.
up great.
See, cover.
North Webster over Richwood, 28-6. I mean, North Webster didn't just beat them; they beat them soundly. 28-6, in my opinion, is a good fashioned butt whipping, and that's I did not see that coming. And then obviously, and this could be debatable, but Catholic New Iberia over Leesville. I mean, personally, I thought Leesville would win it in a close one, but to see the way, and the reason I called it upset is because of the margin of victory Catholic beat them by. I did not think that Leesville would go down there and be heading home with a 31-14 L.
Well, you got it in the wrong column then. You got it in the wrong column, my friend. That should have been a statement.
I know. While I was running, I thought, well, I just said,
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
yeah. We'll add it as a statement, I guess.
Hey, DeRidder over Westlake earns upset of the night. Brobridge over Ascension Episcopal earns upset of the night. You go and upset them on their homecoming, knowing they have a better record than you. And Westminster over Hamilton Christian, big win there, earns upsets of the night. How about UTL, statement win of the night? Who does it go to?
I got St. Louis over Kinder.
Okay.
Got Rain over Kaplan.
Okay.
And I got Jeanneret over Senator.
There you go, my friend.
I got Turlings over Notre Dame.
That's a really good one.
And I mean, that's look, Turlings has every right to beat their chest over this one. They really flex their muscle. Obviously, St. Louis over Kinder. Like I said, Kinder's good. St. Louis is great. Wow.
Yeah.
St. Louis really flexed their muscle on defense tonight. And my biggest one, and it was, I don't think very many people really paid attention to this game tonight. Alexandria Senior High went down to East Ascension and upset them. Well, I say it's upset, but I feel like it's a statement win because, Ash did start off the season a little sluggish. Got, in my opinion, disrespected by STM. And they felt like, okay, hey, we're still Ash, we're still.
And Karen Crow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for Ash to go down to a really good East Ascension team and beat them,
East Ascension.
whether it's by 1 point or 6.
That's a good statement win. Yeah.
Ash said, not so fast, my friend, we're still here.
There you go. Hey, UTL statement wins of the night. Here we go. Catholic and New Iberia dominating win over Leesville after Leesville came in playing the best ball that they've played in quite some time. Brobridge over Ascension Episcopal, Stall and Homecoming earns statement win of the night. Karen Crow over Sulphur, the amount of points they hung up tonight at the Crow Dome over a Sulphur team that can score.
Yeah.
Sterlington over Carroll, it was not even close. Carroll was undefeated.
Wow.
And Turlings over Notre Dame, a dominating win at home for the Rebels.
Right. Most definitely.
Who'd you say the second one was?
Robridge over Ascension
okay.
Episcopal, Spalding homecoming. That's a statement.
Yeah.
Helmet stickers tonight. Who gets them, Gary?
My Red Devils, Port Barry, Church Point, and Oakdale.
There you go. Jake?
I got 5. I'll give Port Barry, obviously, for the big homecoming victory. How about Logansport? They were down 24 to nothing at half. No, I'm sorry, 24 to 8 at half. They stormed back, scored 30 unanswered, come back to beat in-parish rival Mansfield 32-24. Lakeview, big win over a pretty solid LaSalle team, 36-34. How about Newman over Manning? Newman won a little revenge from last year. Well, they got it. Wasn't the prettiest defense performance, but a win's a win. They'll take it. And then obviously, big helmet sticker goes to Catholic Nubberry. Their big win over Leesville.
Helmet stickers, my friend. Let's go to Port Barry. Happy homecoming, Red Devils. Basil keeping the Bayou at home over Elton tonight. Helmet sticker. Rain gets a helmet sticker or Friday night winner. Lake Arthur gets a helmet sticker or Thursday night winner. And then St. Louis over Kinder tonight. Great respect for both programs. The winner was St. Louis Saints. So I give my helmet sticker to Coach McThurn and that football team.
Tell you what, can't go wrong with
I
any
had
of those.
6.
Hey, you can't go wrong with any of those guys.
I should have a 6 helmet
Hey,
sticker.
let's take a look into the future, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up next week, week 5, we're at the midway point. Here's some matchups to get you fired up for next week as we get ready to close this one out.
Get ready.
Amite versus Kentwood next week, folks.
Battle of Tangible Hope, Parish.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Hey, a couple of 4-0 teams going at it. Newman versus St. Mary's.
That
Next
game
week.
is canceled.
Canceled.
I thought you knew. Yeah.
Canceled, Gary.
Oh, my God.
Newman, I know real good friends with the coach at St. Mary's. Newman called and decided they wanted to pull the plug on it. They didn't want to spend the extra money to go up there because they had already went to Shreveport last week. Big drama over it, so they're not playing. St. Mary's is going to have a bye week and then start district play.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Broke my heart,
That could have been a
man.
good game.
That broke my heart.
That was one game I was looking forward to.
Well, you know they're still going to be 4-0 after next week.
Yeah.
That's right. Still going to be undefeated.
Oakdale versus St. Ed's next week, 3-1 versus 4-0.
St. Ed's is out for blood. after
Yeah.
last
St.
night.
Ed's at home against Oakdale. Fear to veer, fear to spread.
Yeah.
That's right.
Battle of 4-0s next week. Gina versus Tioga. Book it, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a dandy.
Where's it going to be played at?
I don't know.
We're not
If
sure
it's
yet.
at the reservation, Tiger, yeah, it's a tough place.
Yeah.
Zachary versus West Monroe next week.
Oh.
Look out.
Whoa.
That is going to be a ball game.
That's
That is going to be a ball game.
Yes, indeed, my friend. You want another good one?
Yeah.
How about Ruston and Neville next week?
Oh, my God.
one of the biggest rivalries in Northeast Louisiana.
That's right.
That will be a sold-out crowd.
Notre Dame Cecilia, gonna be a good one. Southern Lab versus Dunham next week.
That is going to be a top-notch ball game.
Kinder versus Iowa.
Battle for 83.
Always.
Iota versus Jennings.
Oh, yes.
OHS versus Leesville.
Yes.
Who is scheduling these games? Thank you.
Keep it up.
I mean,
Tioga is at home.
Tiger at home, okay.
Battle of the 4-0s next week. John Curtis versus Holy Cross.
Oh, my goodness.
4-0, 4-0.
It's a dog fight.
And one more for you, ladies and gentlemen, before we close this one out. How about I give you Westgate versus Calvary Baptist next week?
Oh,
I think
my
I
God.
think that's at Westgate.
I think it's at Calvary Baptist.
Okay, you're probably right. I can't remember. Braden would know.
Yeah.
Braden he's got the scoop on everything.
I don't know. But you know what? It's going to be a good ball
Man, they
game.
can play the cow pasture, and it's,
Close us out week 4. Get us ready for week 5.
Guys, after everything that we've had this week, all I can say is, wow, we had an awesome week this week. Next week is going to be even better with some of these games that we have coming up. I can't wait. I'm getting sad that it's,
Midway point.
It's like before you know it, we'll be in the dome.
No.
But guess what? I can't wait to see what's going to happen with some of these matchups. Get ready. It's only going to get better.
Gonna be at Tiger Stadium tomorrow.
Tiger Stadium tomorrow. Look out.
We're gonna be in the house. Sunday I will make my week 5 announcement. Where will I be at next week? I can break something to the people watching right now. How about I break something? 5 straight weeks. From week 1 all the way up until week 5, I can cross off a new stadium I've been to. Next week, another new stadium I've never broadcasted from, so I will be there next week.
And I'm sorry I won't be there. I'll be here Wednesday, but the rest of the week I won't be because I'm going to be out of town. But guess what? The man can take care of it. He's going to do it. Support him. Be ready. Y'all come and watch and support us up here at Under the Lights. We appreciate it.
Close us out for week 4. Get us ready for week 5, Jake.
Guys, it's mind-boggling how we're already at the halfway point. I wish we could turn the clock back and go back to Jamboree or week 1. But guys, we got some blockbuster matchups coming up this week, next week. Like I said, whoever's creating these matchups, the coaches that are getting together, thank you so much for these blockbuster matchups, weeks 1 through 10. I mean, this is every week. It seems like we have a playoff atmosphere type of game.
Right.
And so good luck to all the teams across the state next week. Pray for no injuries and good sportsmanship, and let's see some great games, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, 2 in the morning. Thank you for staying up late with us and recapping some week 4 high school football action here in the state of Louisiana. We will see you Wednesday night for week 5 game picks. Do not miss that show. It's going to be the biggest one of the season. A jam-packed panel giving out their thoughts, giving out an analysis from around the state. We're going to bring in guys from not from Opelousas like we normally do, but they're coming from
All
around
over.
the states next week. So we're going to get a little taste of high school football around the area, around the state. I'm very excited for it, and you can follow that on Wednesday night, 8:30 from Gary Swallow's Taekwondo Martial Arts Building in Opelousas, Louisiana, live on Under the Lights. It's only 2 a.m. Night is done.
Only 2 a.m.
Not
Early
out,
compared to last week. Hey,
Gotta
baby,
be
we
up in like 4
started this recap show at 2 a.m. last week.
You did. I know. You
Yes,
did that.
Where were you last week? Friday.
I had a softball
You
tournament.
had a softball.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why.
Hey, congratulations to the winners from across the state of Louisiana. Some great games. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks. Go break down some film. Get ready for some great week 5 to the coaches across the state of Louisiana. You're doing a fantastic job getting these teams prepared week in and week out. It was homecoming week this week. Now we get into district play for many teams that have not got there yet. A lot of teams already in that district race started earlier in the year, and it's getting tight, it's getting fast, it's getting furious. We're going to sign off for now. We say good night from Opelousas, Louisiana. My name is Jordan Taylor. This is Gary Swallow. This is Jake McCoy. This has been week 4 recap show Under the Lights. We'll see you next week. Have a good weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
Awesome.